Hey, what's going on, people? What's good? It's your boy Kelvin. We're behind the bench. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I'll give a shout out to the guys in the group, JB, Jermaine, Rashad, and I hope everyone's blessed out there in social media world. All right, I want to talk about a guy that some people may know about, some don't. Some of the younger fans might not know about. He's a player that played mostly in the '80s. He played for the Dallas Mavericks and he played for the Detroit Pistons on a back-to-back championship team, Bad Boy Pistons. And I think he ended his career with the Clippers in the early '90s. The Clippers. Uh, this gentleman's name is Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre drafted the number one pick in the draft with the Mavericks in 1981. Mark Aguirre was a three-time All-Star. Uh, he could have been All-Star several more years, but there was a lot of great forwards in the Western Conference during that time. You had Adrian Danley, James Worthy, a couple years Kiki Vandeweghe, Larry Nance when he was with Phoenix. Alex English was a great scorer and a Hall of Fame player during that time. So he had a lot of competition. But Mark Aguirre was a prolific scorer for about 6 or 7 years. And he had a very good NBA career that gets overlooked. And the reason why I'm speaking on this, I made a video about the Hall of Fame, and you can go back and listen to the video about the Hall of Fame. And this is the reason why I say the way they have it set up today, the Basketball Hall of Fame here in America and Massachusetts, is garbage. Because the way they have it set up, it encompasses your total basketball career, college, international play, and your NBA play. So I'm asking the question of why isn't Mark Aguirre in the Hall of Fame? If you go back and look at his college career was great. And actually, Mark Aguirre is in the NCAA Hall of Fame for great collegiate athletes. Let's look at his numbers in college. As a freshman, he led his team to the Final Four. In 1979, he averaged 24 points a game, 8 boards in college. And this is back when players stayed in college. A lot of great players got into the Final Four. They lost to Indiana State, which was led by Larry Bird. He lost to them in the regional semifinals by 2 points. The next year, he averaged 27 and 8 in college as a sophomore. A senior, he was 23 and 9. And he left college and declared for the draft after his junior year. He was a two-time All-American. In 1980, he was the Player of the Year, Naismith Award winner for the best college player, Rupp Trophy winner, NCAA All-Tournament player, and he was a high school parade All-American coming out of Chicago. And, he had a very good NBA career. As a rookie, he averaged 19 points a game. His second year, 25 points a game. Third year, 30, 29.5. You might as well say 30 points a game. Next year, 26. Then 22.6. You rounded up to 23 points a game. The following year, 25.7. Rounded up, you might as well say 26. Then he averaged 25 points a game. And then before he got traded, first half of the year with the Mavericks, he was averaging almost 22. He got traded to Detroit. When he got to Detroit, he told Chuck Daly, hey, I don't need to be a starter. I can go to the bench. Dennis Rodman, who was a younger player, he was emerging as a star player, star rebounder, star defensive player. And he sacrificed his numbers and became a great six-man with them. He was giving you almost 16 points a game. And the '89 Detroit Pistons, they're considered by many as a top 10 greatest championship team of all time. So he's giving you 16 points a game as a six-man. The following year in 1990, the Pistons repeated. He was giving you 14 points a game. That's elite six-man numbers. And then in 91, the Pistons made the conference finals. They did lose to the eventual champion Chicago Bulls. He was still an elite six-man that year, giving you 14 points a game. So he had a very good NBA career that gets lost because, he played a lot of that with the Mavericks. The Mavericks were a very good team in the 80s in the West. They get lost in history because they didn't win a championship. The Showtime Lakers were very dominant. The Mavericks, a team I seen firsthand growing up, because I grew up in Dallas. And I seen how great Mark Aguirre was, how great of a scorer he was. He was an elite scorer. And if he would have stayed with the Mavericks and not got traded to Detroit, he could have played another 3, 4, 5 years, averaging over 20 plus points. And going down his history as an elite scorer like a Carmelo Anthony or Alex English type, And he gets lost in history because the Mavericks didn't win the title. And so I'm asking the question, why is he not in the Hall of Fame? Why not Mark? He had a very good NBA career with a great college career. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? And this is why I say the way they had the Hall of Fame set up is very muddled and confusing. You need to have an NBA Hall of Fame. You already have an NCAA Hall of Fame for the collegiate athletes. And in most high schools, they have a Hall of Fame for high school. And whatever state you played in, the state has a Hall of Fame to recognize great high school athletes. But the way you have it set up now is very muddled and confusing. So you got Tony Kukoc, who's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, mainly because of his international career being great while having a solid NBA career. You have him there, but not Mark Aguirre. You have Tim Hardaway Sr. in the Hall of Fame, which I don't understand. He was a marginal college player until his senior year. He had a great senior year. He averaged 22 points a game. And he had a very good NBA career, not great. He was a 5-time All-Star. See, I don't understand this. It's very confusing. So the criteria I have now, Mark Aguirre should be in. It doesn't make any sense. You got Manu Ginobili going into the Hall of Fame, who had a very good NBA career, but his international career was great. And a lot of that is weighed on his international career. Same thing with Tony Parker. Great international player, very good NBA player. He's going into the Hall of Fame. And see, that's what I'm saying. It don't make sense. That's the reason why I say Adam Silver, you need to get whoever you need to get with, you need to make an NBA Hall of Fame. We already have an NCAA Hall of Fame for college athletes. We have a FIBA Hall of Fame for the international play. We had a high school Hall of Fame or the state Hall of Fame to recognize great high school athletes. It's very confusing. And it needs to be changed. See, if you had it set up correctly and you just look at Mark Aguirre's NBA career and you want to say, hey, his NBA career was very good but not great, so we're not going to put him in the NBA Hall of Fame, I would understand that. That's very understandable. But how you have it set up now is confusing, and he should be in. You got Chris Webber in, who was only, while having Hall of Fame talent, he was only great in the NBA because of injuries, 5 years. And he was on a great college team. You see what I'm saying? It's very confusing. So you guys who don't know about Mark Aguirre, do some research. He was a hell of a player in the 80s, a great scorer. And the way they have him set up now, he should be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Just want to shed some light on him. Do some research on him. He was a great player in the 80s with the Dallas Mavericks. That's my time. It's your boy Kelvin with Behind the Bench. Y'all be blessed, and I'm out.